Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, right here on the YouTube and the Twitch, and wherever you get your podcast audio worldwide. To your left, my right, we got Front Row Bill in the house. How you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good, J-Bone. Couple days back in the saddle, getting near the end of the week. I know there's been some remnants. Some people say I brought the storm with me back from Florida, but it's fine. But there is I know some power issues in the area, so we'll see if Alicia can make it, because I know she's having some issues herself. But luckily, I know some areas near me have been affected, but luckily I've been okay. So, but no, everything's good. The rest is catching up with me, but I still been busy, J-Bone, because I got back. I had a concert last night. I was sitting in the rain for a couple hours. So, and then I got a concert again tomorrow. So it's been a busy return back. So,
what bands are you seeing, Bill?
Well, last night was Leonard Skinner. Doing a little Southern rock last night.
Nice.
So luckily and it's not always the case at a concert, but I was front row at Leonard Skinner. That's one of the reasons I got the ticket. But it was like the first two warm-up bands were pouring. I was in my poncho getting poured on, but kind of into like when Skinner came on, like the second song, it was pretty much done raining for the rest of the night. So worked out pretty good.
That's good.
And then tomorrow is Green Day, Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, featuring Lars from TNA, and I think there might be one more opening band. But
TNA's very own. Isn't Sum 41 on their farewell tour on that one?
They are doing, I think, a separate tour, but not that one.
Oh, okay. All right. I know
this is like where
last year,
like Green Day's playing Dookie and American Idiot in full on this tour. And I think the Pumpkins are doing like an hour. Yeah.
Dookie.
Well, that was their breakthrough album, J-Bone.
No, I know. I'm just there's some alternative stuff from back in the day that I kind of latched onto, and we'll just say that there was some I did not. And I'm like, if you're gonna call your album Dookie, I'm sorry, no.
Hey, let's check it out. It's a great album, J-Bone.
I'll probably, it's been 30 years since it's been out. I'm guessing maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. I think you're right on that, J-Bone.
So maybe I'll have
30 years, you might get it.
Just strap myself in one of these days and just turn it on and let it go. And because I'm sorry, when it comes on the radio in my town, because they play just a ridiculous amount of Dookie on the radio as it is. Milwaukee radio is not that great. It's changed a little over the years. It's not that great.
I'm a satellite guy at this point, J-Bone. I can't even tell you about local radio anymore. I gave up on it.
I was for a while. And I can tell you, when I had satellite radio on and off for the last handful of years, I did enjoy it. There were certain rock shows that were entertaining, There was a DJ on a rock radio show. His name was like Johnny London or something. I'm like, oh my God. If there's a rock and roll name, it's Johnny London or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, enough of the Dookie. We're here to talk some TNA, and lots to cover tonight. We've got, of course, tonight's episode of TNA that we're going to run through. We'll cover some news, including what fans have been dying for just absolutely frothing at the mouth for Bill. It's just,
who would have thought they'd get it tonight?
Oh my goodness! And we got it tonight, and but I think some site tried to leak part of it out there. But when everyone's talking about it, you're not really doing your audience a service, are you? Really? No, you're really not. So we'll call that a fail.
Massive fail.
Massive, yes. Finish him. Dookie. We'll call him Dookie. If you know, you know. But yeah, the announcement of Bound for Glory.
Wait, are we already in news, J-Bone?
We're just jumping.
You're jumping in the news. You're jumping the shark, the proverbial shark. Fonzie, talking Milwaukee.
We're jumping the Dookie.
I'm going to get J-Bone. He's going to be on that all night now. So before we can't hesitate, J-Bone, because if we hesitate talking about news any longer, it'll just be more fake wrestling news out there.
Longing for that fake wrestling news. Don't believe anything that you read on the internet.
But you don't have to put up with fake wrestling news here, J-Bone, because unlike other places, and I'll give credit to ones that don't do it, because not all of them did. It was really only one that decided to do this, become the fake wrestling news. But here, it's only real wrestling news. We gave a tease on Tuesday, but no fake wrestling news. So let's give it to J-Bone's real wrestling news.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now, your time for the only source of true wrestling news with the Bone Man.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
Yes, the only show where you get the wrestling news that is dookie free. This show is going to need an air freshener by the end, let me tell you, sir. All right. Yes, the announcement came about halfway through the show.
A little more than halfway through.
A little over halfway through the show. They dropped a few teases, the same teases that were on social media. The look of the I love our chat. It's dookie everywhere. They dropped the teases just like they were on the Twitter and other social medias. And so yeah, the classic car look with the engine smoke, whatever you want to call that, dry ice look, fog, or whatever. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So gave it a good clue. Mentioned Detroit a couple days ago, and now on 10/26 of this year, we're getting Bound for Glory in Detroit. Oh, pardon me. Detroit, Michigan, at the Wayne University Fieldhouse. Is that right? Wayne? I believe that's. I feel
Wayne
like I'm
State,
forgetting something.
Wayne State.
Wayne State University Fieldhouse. Now here's the trick. Here's the part where you really have to pay attention. Okay. And for those asking, the field house holds about 3K, about 3,000.
Correct.
So perfect number.
The right number.
Whether you're doing a pay-per-view or TV tapings.
Not announced TV tapings at this time.
No, none. Just for now, it looks like it's a one-off.
It looks like it's a one-off. Because they usually announce both, but we'll see in the next couple days. But I have a theory if there isn't TV tapings.
Yeah, we'll see how the shows line up. But so this is like smack dab in between stuff from between September and November. So yeah, we'll see. Um, but they did announce that. All right, where do I have it here? For those subscribed to TNA Plus, the subscription service TNA Plus, you will have an advantage because you'll have a special code to get on the whatever site it is that's selling the tickets.
Yeah, eTix, which is it might be a first for.
I think that's
like I've used eTix was mainly used via Evolve. I remember using eTix for Evolve. That was their main ticket partner, and I've used them for some different indies over the years. But yeah, that's an interesting one. I wasn't expecting that since it's usually Ticketmaster or Eventbrite for pretty much every show.
Maybe that's one that's based out of Detroit. They're trying to give someone.
Well, I'm sure it's some type of connection with the venue. Is probably the answer on that one, I would imagine.
That could be. Yeah, something tied to the collegiate games there. Something, yeah. But yeah. Realign. Thank you for the bits, brother. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it. All right. So TNA Plus, August 22nd. If you're subscribed to TNA Plus, you can get your tickets August 22nd. And then the next day, on the 23rd, the general sale starts. So
very nice.
Just another positive reason to be subscribed to TNA Plus. You get little.
You get the little benefits.
Yeah, benefits. Thank you. Just checking the chat. Okay. So no Alicia joining us tonight. She is without power, but she is safe. So that's the important part. So just keep her in your thoughts as we're doing the show tonight. Hopefully she gets power back soon and that all is well with her. We hope she stays safe. All right. Did you have any troubles, Bill?
No, luckily enough, I didn't here at the homestead, but I did notice there was some street lighting not far from me that was out. So like I said, it's definitely affecting areas near me. Like Alicia's not around the corner from me, but she's not too far. Okay. So, but there's definitely some, like it doesn't seem crazy, the weather. I think it's just one of those things that's hitting certain ways. Like if you get it in the right spot where it hits you the right way, you can definitely lose power. And I know Alicia said, I think she's in an area where if there is kind of weather that's up for debate, it will affect hers. Like my parents are the same way. Like their house, like if it's a storm that could be a little bit on not knowing what's going to happen, like their side of the street will get power loss, but the other side won't.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. Sometimes you're just more susceptible.
Well, we hope everyone out there, no matter where you're from, stays safe because, man, there's just been, seems like an extra amount of storms hitting across the U.S. this year.
Early this year. Very early. Yeah, because we're not even in season yet. Like we're before the season. Like when you're talking the season, that's like it starts soon, but to be hitting them like already it's not a good sign for the rest of this year, honestly.
Yeah, like our summer usually hits from like June till somewhere in September. September's where it starts turning for us into fall. But so and our first half of the summer has just been gnarly with rainstorms.
Yeah, the rains have been bad the past couple of years. Like when you get them, they don't stop. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Leads to flooding, leads to all kinds of bad things.
Yeah. So, I mean, so at least there actually hasn't been too many super hot days. The rain has really kept that down to a minimum, at least around here. I know it's been very hot other places. Um,
That's a
Mayor's
that's a long
down in
hurricane season.
Florida. That is a long.
Not quite the whole year.
Yeah, almost. That's almost like it's almost like winter season for Wisconsin. It's like, oh, it's only 9 months.
Yeah.
You know,
I always thought though, like when you travel, they tell you not to like book because it's hurricane season, like real hurricane season in like late September and October in Florida, at least. That's what I've always been told. And I've been there for it because I was there for TNA tapings at the Impact Zone in Florida when it was a hurricane and they had to stop tapings for a couple days and then start them back up again.
Oh,
so that was the old extend the hotel, the car, the flight.
Yeah. All right, Bell's Boy. We'll read this super chat. Appreciate you, Bell's Boy, and then we'll get back to news because there's something I want to touch on. It's not really news related, but there's something that's been just itching at me.
All right.
Says hello, fellas. So is Steph still waiting for PCO? Well, she might be waiting a while. We'll get to that. Nick really gave it to Josh. He sure did, man. Cole knocked him out. Beginning to become more of a fan of Ash. See, Ash needs more fans. Love her or hate her, she needs more fans. And looks like Rosemary and Ash are going to feud in a DQ in TNA. Prayers for Bill and Alicia. All right. Yeah, well, that knockouts match we had was like a no contest. So double DQ, no contest, whatever you want to call it. So, but thank you, Bell's Boy. Yeah, lot to unravel there. We'll cover it. We'll cover it.
Oh yeah, we will. But J-Bone, what itch do you need to scratch?
Oh, dude, I was talking about this with my wife last night, and she just kind of shook her head at me. Sometimes she just doesn't get me, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm a different breed of bone. You know, it's just one of those things. Because we were talking about the weather and hurricane season, and she said something to the effect of, or she was watching a video or something, and it had a reference to hurricane season down in Florida and the current hurricane running through there or coming soon, like, you know, preview of coming attractions or something, was Hurricane Debbie. Debbie? I'm like,
that's the one.
I'm like, where? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting to the age where I just don't understand certain things. I'm like, is this becoming like, are we hallmarking? Are we doing a Hallmark card thing with hurricane season now?
Well, they've always had names. They go by the alphabet.
I get that. But, like, you know, why are we picking such cute names? Like, do I have to pick out a card to send down to Florida to your aunt, you know, Jehoshaphat, whatever? And you're like, oh, I hope Debbie wasn't too harsh on you. You know, it's Debbie.
Well, it's all to make people remember. Like, they give it a name just to, like, organize things. So it's usually something short or something easy to remember.
Something short and sweet, dare I say? I just don't understand. Like, man, if I'm gonna if I'm gonna alphabetize this, I want, you know, I want, you know, it's D. Okay, death and destruction. Okay, that's what I want my hurricanes. Like, you want people to feared the finger of God coming across the ocean and wiping out, 100 cities in 5 minutes, I'm going to name a hurricane Death and Destruction. I'm not going to name it, oh, it's Debbie. I'm sorry. That's just my way of thinking. I just don't get it.
J-Bone don't get it. He doesn't get them.
Then what's after that? E?
Yeah, it should be an E. I'm not sure. They probably already know it. It's like usually they're lined up. I think they're on a 6-year rotation, the names. So they should know the names honestly ahead of time. So, but I am not a meteorologist.
Can we name it like Eclipse or something like big like that? No, we're probably gonna name it Edith or Eleanor. I'm like, I had a God bless her. God bless her. I had an Aunt Eleanor, but it's like, really? I'm over this.
It's over it.
I don't get it. All right, back to the news. No more Hurricane Dookie. There we go.
There you go.
Just shit on everyone in the continental USA. I'm kidding. All right. My God. All right. So, Bound for Glory news.
Ernesto will be the E. So, get ready for
look at.
Yeah. It's Ernesto next.
Really?
Followed by Francine, Gordon, Helene, Isaac, Joyce, Kirk, Leslie, Milton, Nadine, Oscar, Patty, Raphael, Sarah, Tony, Valerie, and William. To end it.
What a lovely family of storms. Get your Hallmark cards ready, folks. Here it comes. All right. So yeah, very excited. I had people asking me in the chat prior to this show during the live Hurricane J-Bo. There you go. There's a fierce one to look out for. There you go, Bells boy. You get the ticket. People were asking me, are you interested? I'm like, yeah, I'm interested. There's a lot of stuff coming here. The chat's just going to go nuts now. Hurricane Ernie? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, oh, there's a storm coming. Really? No fierceness. No fierceness at all.
J-Bone was done after Rock You Like a Hurricane, and he never was able to come back.
Yeah, I'm like, man, if it don't hit me like the Scorpions in '84, I'm over it. Just straight dookie. So, but yeah, let me know. I mean, Bill, I gotta imagine you're in for this, for Bound for Glory.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's because there was obviously a time where we were hearing a lot of rumors out there, nothing confirmed, that it could be overseas, that it could be like, and who knows? Like those were all up in the air. Like, and with less notice, less likely that would have been, obviously. That in the States, obviously makes that easier to do. So now it is interesting. I know Mayor said it in there earlier, because like right now I do have a ticket for a show the day after Bound for Glory, because there's a show not that far from me I talked about here on the review a while back that may have some TNA talent on it. So that's why I think there will not be TV tapings, because the day after Bound for Glory, NXT Halloween Havoc is in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And I think that might be why there are no TV tapings.
So you are gonna run out of Detroit.
Unless there's TV tapings, then I'll probably redo my schedule. But if it is just a one-off, then yeah, I would run out of Detroit and head back home.
Gotcha.
To head to that show. So we'll see what winds up happening. But no, I think it's a market they haven't obviously been to in a long time. But there are a lot of connections with obviously Windsor right across the bridge, which I'm not going to say there were none, but for being so close to Detroit, I thought there would be more Detroit people that go over the bridge to Windsor for those shows, but it was still mostly local Windsor and other Canadians that would travel to Windsor. But I think a lot of those Windsor people are going to travel over the bridge to go to Detroit for the show. So I think that will just, once again, I think it's going to help turn out for the crowd. Obviously, if it is just a one-off show, some of those international people that might have come for Bound for Glory, like people from the UK that may have traveled over, I don't know if that will be a little bit of not as much of an enticement. Because I know they like staying more for the TV tapings and some other ones. Now, Eli, I just read the announcement. They say both. There's a comment for both. I just saw the two separate times. I'll look at that closer, but I didn't see any reference unless they modified that press release. Because that would be interesting if they do say for both shows.
Let me check the website because it should be up on the website. We got the results.
Oh, wait, and hold on. Now, it's their social media, not the website. They do say both shows on the announcement is coming to Detroit. Tickets for both Detroit shows. They don't reference it there, but so that's either an error, a typo, or they will announce a second, but they didn't announce it tonight. Like I said, that's why we got to give it a couple days but usually they populate it pretty quick. Like once they put it out there, they'll put both events out there.
Usually they do right away. They say, this is the pay-per-view, this is the tapings day.
Yeah, so, but I'd give it 24 to 48 hours before you know for sure. Like, if they don't clarify it in the next, like, if it's not clarified by next week, then I'm going to think it's only a one-off.
Yeah. Yes, and sometimes it is, depending on what falls on what.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting towards the end of the year there. It's, so. All right. TU says a live episode. I don't think we're going to get live episodes. If I would hope they would get back to that, but that takes a lot of work, and I don't think they got the money to do that.
No, honestly, what I think is a possibility, because I know at some previous tapings, they've taped extra content that has not aired.
Right.
So I think they could mash something together for a week or two if they needed to.
Sure.
Content. And that could be a filler spot for it. And they'll and let's not ever forget, they could surprise us with a Wrestle House out of nowhere, all of a sudden airing as part of the show.
Oh yeah, they could do some goofy behind the scenes tapings, and we wouldn't even know about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see though. Hey, if they do that, that would be more the norm. Now Montreal, they did a great job for getting people for the taping the day after. That's a big venue, 3,000 to do TV, not live after a pay-per-view. So it would be a daunting task to go for that same venue for TV. But the earlier they know, that's why they got it clarified pretty soon if there will be TV.
Right. So, and one other thing that just got announced within the last day or so, I got the email about this, and then I got the link for the actual page, and it's got some more details. So those of you who might be in the Milwaukee area, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, close to the middle of November. So this is a little later in the year. This is on a Sunday at 7 p.m. This is an event by Warrior Wrestling and Lakefront Brewery. I can't remember if I've been to the Lakefront Brewery. I might have been. I don't go downtown Milwaukee much. I really don't. But they've got a Warrior Wrestling is typically out of Chicago.
Yes.
But they're doing the Milwaukee date here in the Lakefront Brewery, and they've got their headliner is former X Division champion Mustafa Ali.
Oh.
Headlining in a match versus Myron Reed. The first time ever. And they're also doing an appearance by Jordynne Grace. Will go up against former AEW wrestler, but I wouldn't even qualify her as that because I think she spent a longer time in Impact, but it's neither here nor there. Kylie Ray. So Jordynne Grace versus Kylie Ray. And it's really weird how they advertised this because they said fresh from her appearance in WWE's Royal Rumble. I wouldn't say 11 months later is fresh, but
fresh enough.
Is that fresh though? I mean, would you call that? I mean, if you saw a date on something and it was
the most recent Royal Rumble. To be fair,
I mean, is that just a sign that somebody knows something that shortly after that she will be appearing again in a Royal Rumble? We'll have to wait and see. So, but yeah, just wanted to let fans know about that. You can go to the Brawl in the Beer Hall.
Brawl in the
Beer Hall. Tickets, I believe they're on sale now. So it's for Sunday, November 10th. If you're in the Midwest area, think about going to that.
Maybe J-Bone?
I might. I don't know. It's the end of the year gets hairy. You never know. We'll see. I'm going to have to pick and choose. There's NXT in Chicago. There's Bound for Glory in Detroit.
Might you make the trip to Detroit? How far is that trip for you?
You know what? Let's quick. You got a little too excited there.
Well, since you missed Chicago, J-Bone, I'd like to see you get your TNA fix this year.
I know.
And that's a big show.
So that's
a pretty big shoe.
Wayne University.
Mm-hmm. Wayne State. In Detroit. There you go. T. Hughes even saying carpool with Trent.
There we go.
I can see Trent making the trip.
That is a possibility. Wayne State University.
It's the Midwest. Everything's a stone's throw away in the Midwest.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, so this is Detroit. This is, okay. We'll say directions.
All right, Justin says 5.5 for him. Are you thinking of going, Justin? He's done the travel check. That's step one of authentic. And let us know in the chat. Are you thinking of attending Bound for Glory?
Okay, so I could swim across Lake Michigan.
All right. I'll cut you a little time.
I could take, actually, the ferry goes across from Milwaukee.
Oh.
And goes
and it's a car ferry, right?
Yeah, I think it is. It's a car ferry, and then I would have to drive all the way across. Well, either way, I got to drive across Michigan, it looks like. Yeah, so one is 6. If I go around Chicago, it's 6 hours.
Okay.
If I go through Chicago, it's 6 hours and 13 minutes. If I quickly swim across Lake Michigan, it's 6 hours and 19 minutes. So it's all around the
6 hours, 6-ish hours. So
yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. That's doable.
It says 400. If I go around Chicago, it's 400 miles on the money. So
400 even. Ooh. Critical Sting. I believe I was there for that Twitch special. It was technically in Michigan. Was it Bell something? Bellevue, Belmar. Add like a bar.
Is that the one where? That's the one where Eli Drake was champ and he had his own special, right?
No, the Night of the Dummies was in New York. It was in Binghamton, New York.
No, but there was something.
But he may have been champ during that time.
But there was something in, like, I could have sworn it was Detroit, and it was something.
It was like this black diamond or snake, something.
I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. No promises. We'll see. Justin Miller says 5.5. Okay. Yeah, carpool with Trent. There we go. We'll see. We're just trying to get Trent on here is hard enough. We'll see.
The Motown Showdown in 2019.
Yeah, there's that one. I'm still
one.
thinking of a. I'm still thinking of another one. But anyways, yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Styles is in the chat. Good evening, sir. He's in the Twitch. Hell yeah, man.
Oh, there you go. Critical Sting. That was when they had 2 shows at the same time, one in Canada and one in Binghamton.
How could they do that?
2 at the same time?
Did they have a roster that big? That's unheard of. All right. But yeah, that's about it for news. I mean, it was pretty much.
We do gotta, because there is a lot of TNA influence, and it's the week before Bound for Glory, J-Bone. But Scott D'Amore is back with his new promotion. And that is like said in the chat here. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
Oh, okay. That was Maple Leaf something.
Yeah, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling featuring Josh Alexander, Giselle Shaw. Yeah, so you got a whole crew there.
And
they're doing
TNA's
2 days.
Finest.
2 days of tapings up there.
How could he?
They're just for that.
Yeah. So, well, you know what? Good for him. You know?
Oh, yeah.
He loves wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I saw a lot of the TNA roster and myself, like, that's wishing all the best. All the best.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
There you go.
I
saw
Keith
Keith there.
There you go.
Bell's boy.
I don't think we're gonna see a versus, but he could maybe call it Canada's finest. There you go. Or at least for his neck of the woods. Where's that out of?
Asking about a mall in Michigan. not to my knowledge off the top of my head, unless it was a long time ago. The last mall show I remember that, well, they did two, technically. Go two. One was in Pennsylvania, up in Scranton. They did the mall show there, which was a Twitch special. Technically, when they did Texas for the pay-per-view, they were in like an area that was sort of like a mall for one of the specials that went on during the day. So I count that as a mall show too.
Yeah. The one I remember is Shira had a really bad match with Willie Mack or something like that. That's one that sticks out for me. Poor guy. It was a rough night. Here we go. Styles with the question of the evening for everybody. Do you believe? We all say, yeah.
Oh, Critical Sting. Never. I got my Twitch shows mixed up. Dark Times. Never Sting.
Dark Times.
We have to always ask for the critical signal out there.
Yes.
Although it does. There is so many shows. They can get mixed up. I fall victim to that often. Because in my head, a lot of times, they just connect together. So it's very tough to like place, like it'd be like, was it in this town or this town? Unless you can really get it to a specific event. You're like, it's in this time period, but where?
Well, and they had Twitch exclusive shows.
Oh, the Twitch era. Hey, no. Team Twitch. You know me. I'll always be a defender of Team Twitch. And I love the Twitch specials. I thought the Twitch specials were fun.
It was something different, you know.
But I will admit, like the current TNA Plus specials, they're another level. Like some of those shows are the best shows of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they do great, like live specials. So
they've become
up that game. See. Yeah, because there were some good Twitch specials, but then there were some okay specials. It all depended because they partnered with so many promotions, and a lot of it depended on the quality of the other promotion. So some were much better than others.
Local, yeah. All right. Well, shall we dive into tonight's?
Yeah, let's take a dip.
We're only 45 minutes in.
yeah. Alicia, sorry you weren't here to see us hit our marks quick on tonight's news.
You're right.
But it was the Bound for Glory announcement. And once again, just to say it again, because I feel like some even from I know I can confirm from the top that TNA did not want the reveal out there before tonight's show.
Right.
They did not want that out there. However, I'm also saying that obviously it was leaked by somebody in the company. So now I can't tell you who. Like, I don't think it was the top, but it could have been down in management. It could have been obviously someone on the roster. But I think most of them, like, this was kept pretty tight. And I'll give credit to, like, some of them, like Insider did not reveal it. I think a couple, like, they may have a couple hours before the show went live hinted at the Midwest. I'll give them a pass on that.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. Like you can get away with that. But to put it out there behind a paywall, no less, that just irks me to no end. Like, first of all, like, because there's some things, and I know people are going to go with the argument that by leaking things to dirt sheets, it helps you overall. And some of that's fine. Like interviews, if you want to get some contract news, exclusives, stuff like that. Like if you want to announce certain things exclusives. But this was not one of those announcements that they wanted to do that. They wanted to build like, hey, come watch tonight's show for this announcement. that everyone's been waiting for. So once again, most people kept it very tight. I think the people that knew that was out there all kept it tight themselves. So to go out there just to be like, hey, I want to get some money from people off my paywall, like kind of cheap, kind of low. Like if I'm the company, I go, do I really want to do as much business with someone doing that? That's just my opinion.
Oh, can't stand them. Just irks.
But yeah, the ones that didn't, and I think once again, I think other ones, I think they probably had an idea or knew, and they kept it. Kudos, because come on, we're talking professional wrestling here. If we want to enjoy this, if we want to cover this, you can't, like, this is a magician. Like, are we having to just like let's reveal all the tricks? You got to keep some of it. You can't just be a spoil, like where we like to be a spoiler-free zone, and that's how I'm going to stick with it here.
Right. We try our best. I mean, if something's already
out, like if they put stuff out there, like when I've put out news ahead of time, it's already on a ticketing site. It's already like it can be out there. Like I might just know it's there, so I'll direct people that it is there. But to just do that, come on, man, get a real job.
Right. Absolutely.
But J-Bone, all right, let's start the show. It's the August 8th edition of Impact.
It's the what?
August 8th.
Oh, August 8th. I thought you said something else. Yes. Looks you were talking about magic. I was gonna say it's what's up this sleeve? Nothing. What's up this sleeve? Bunch of dookie.
Oh, back to the dookie.
You're welcome. All right. We're starting out here. The system coming down to the ring. And dare I say, Bill, say
it.
Possibly one of the best promos ever from Lish. Just letting the crowd have it.
I'll tell you, you're right, J-Bone. But now I'm going to give you, because now that it aired, I'm going to give you a little bit behind the curtain right now.
Okay.
They had 2 nights of TV tapings. Okay. This was take 2. The last time I told you about a take 2 was because I was involved in it, was the fans' revenge match. But I don't know why this was a take 2, honestly. I can't confirm why it was, because this segment was done the first night and the second night. Now, it was a good crowd on the first night, but the second night obviously had even a bigger, like it was officially sold out. They couldn't print any more tickets for a second night. So maybe just to get more heat, maybe, well, once again, from my vantage point, could someone have had some issue or something accidental that slipped out? But it was but home run. Like I thought the first time it was pretty good, but yeah, no, they brought it. This was especially after the losses for the system, to see them kind of knock this promo out of the park was a good sign to see. They still have them upper tier relevant. They
said nothing changed. Nothing's changed, and I'm like, yeah, you can tell, that's straight politics right there. Nothing's changed, nothing to see here. We're still the same. We're still going to destroy you. Are you really? Are you sure? No, but this was gold, and the crowd was hot. This crowd was great. I don't know what the numbers were, but if they did it, the only reason I could see them doing it again, if the promo was as good, is to get more response from the crowd.
I think that was part of it. I know Mayor's kind of asking like what I'm talking about. Like pretty much that whole opening segment you're watching, that was filmed the previous night, but they didn't use that take. They filmed it again the second night. And I think one of the difference is, like I said, I think mainly it's the crowd. I think that's probably the point. Now, once again, there could have been a slip up here or something they watched on tape and wanted to do it for another reason. That's the beauty about taping, is if you don't like something on night one, you might go, but like where before it was like, oh, there's an obvious thing. This one was like, and maybe there was an obvious, but I just didn't see it from my vantage point.
Yeah.
And it does, and it didn't hurt that full crowd the next night.
Yeah. So that, and the crowd was on fire for this one. They were booing all through it. They had certain chants go. I didn't write down the chants, but they had chants going, you suck or whatever,
Yeah, system failure.
System, that's pretty good. System failure. But they're like, nothing's changed. We're still the system. We're still gonna, destroy everyone and whatever, So I wasn't convinced, but let me tell you, this crowd was pissed. That was gold.
Not fans.
If that was money. If that's the kind of response you got, it's money.
Yeah, and even Moose, who normally gets a pretty decent response, positive and negative, it was more, and like even for like the Moose chance he was getting, he was going all into the like, I know my name, like don't cheer for me, like trying to shut those people up that aren't cheering them.
There you go, turn them.
Now, J-Bone, I don't think I told you, but it might be as good a time as any to mention it. Okay. Although, you know what? I'll wait because it was from somebody you don't see every taping. So I'll wait until the show that we see them on.
Oh, okay.
And I'll go because there was just a little tidbit I got after that that found out somebody's watching the podcast.
Oh, well, that's nice. Okay. All right. Next, we got Gia Miller backstage talking to Jonathan Gresham. Now,
Interesting segment.
Very well. Okay, I want to rewind. I talked about this. I talked about this on the pre-show, and it bears repeating. So just bear with me here. Couple days ago, you start seeing the promotional pictures, like you see here, that TNA puts out for, okay, this is what we're seeing on the show this week. We're going to see so-and-so versus so-and-so. We're going to see so-and-so do a promo. We're going to see so-and-so featured in a match. The usual. Mm. They showed Kushida versus Jonathan Gresham, but it was the old gimmick. It was the nasty, sick gimmick, with the black mask, the black octopus, the black get up, heel Gresham. I got goosebumps as I said that, because I'm like, man, he's one of the best characters in TNA right now, in my opinion. I love the evolution of this. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. A couple days later, today, or, within the last 24 hours or so, we got the promotional pic of Kushida and Gresham again. But it's the Gresham we saw on TV tonight. And I'm like, wait a minute, was that a mistake? Did someone, what happened? Like, what Gresham are we getting? Is there a swerve here? What's going on? I was confused by this. Well, sure enough, that's the Gresham we got on this promo tonight, or this little interview segment with Gia Miller. He comes out and she's like, how are you doing? And he's like, hey, I'm good. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you were coughing. I'm like, what do you mean you're good? You were coughing up black stuff.
He doesn't seem to remember any of this. It's like it didn't happen.
It's like it didn't happen. Like it was another universe. Like, they
it was
flip-flopped or something. And so then Kushida comes up to him and he's like, hi. And he holds out his hand to shake his hand. And Kushida's about this close to shaking his hand, pulls back, and he's like,
Something's not right.
No, I don't think so. And we'll get to the match later, but then something else even happens that was really like, what is going on here? So yeah, this confused the heck out of me. I'm like, I don't know if you heard any inside things, like why they did this. If there's like, this is a bigger part of the
like obviously
story.
Seeing the match without this interview, obviously when I saw it, I was very confused. I'm like, oh, there's going to be a segment that will explain it. Remember, we had Dr. Kushida getting the vial, sciencing the crap out of this. I was going to think that was going to be the answer. Like, he figured out the cure. He cured him, Kushida. But yet, that's not what we got.
No.
But now it's like we're getting some type of memory loss angle, or I don't know what it's going to wind up turning out to be. Or is it a big swerve by Gresham to try to get the upper hand? And we'll talk after the results of the match tonight. But at least it doesn't seem like if this was some long game by Gresham, doesn't seem to be working out for him. But you're right. Like, they put so much work into the Gresham turn into that character. If they just nixed it, it seems like that's a surprise.
Right.
Like, I know they didn't have the match because of travel issues. They couldn't have the match.
Right. Swan had the match at Slammiversary. Match with Kush. Right.
Yeah, and it all led up to that. It didn't happen. But then if you 86'd it into this, I'm hoping for this really plays out into something. But obviously we didn't get tonight. It's still a huge unknown what's going on with this storyline.
I mean, he still wore some kind of mask out, so he still has that gimmick.
But that was his gimmick before.
No, I know, but
he's back to exactly Gresham before this happened.
Like the good octopus.
The good octopus. The friendly neighborhood octopus.
Your friendly neighborhood octopus. Thank you. That's just, yes, absolutely. Hand behind the back, hand out, shake my hand. Thank you. Good night. and Jordynne Grace has him hanging upside down at home, peeling down the octopus mask, trying to, recreate the famous scene. It's never mind. All right. Santino backstage. And he's talking about the Ultimate X match, and he's there with Bailey, and Bailey says to him,
Bailey, Speedball, not the other Bailey, Jabo, just to be clear.
What other Bailey?
Oh, we have some people that watch from NXT. They might think something. I just
for crying out loud. No, not. Wow. No. No. Not that Bailey. Speedball. Killing me. All right. So, Speedball Mike Bailey.
I thought we were friends.
Speedball Mike Bailey holding his championship. And he's like, hey, if others have to qualify for this, I want to qualify for this. He's like, if I can't qualify for my own match, I don't deserve to hold this title. And I was like, wow.
You don't usually see that.
No, because it was just stated last week. Speedball Mike Bailey will defend his championship at the Ultimate X. it's like, oh, okay. So then everyone else has to qualify. Now we get to this week, and it's like, what? Oh, okay. So I'm like, is there like a chance that he's not even going to, like, if he lost this match, he would forfeit his title? I'm like, okay, then he has to win this, right? Well, he does, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I was just, I was surprised by that. Positively surprised by that. I was like, nice, way to go. So now we have our first of two Ultimate X qualifiers for the night. We got Trent 7. I mean, tonight was just X Division heavy, whether it was matches, interviews, content, prep for Emergence. It was all over the place. It was great. Ultimate X qualifier, we got Trent 7 versus Jake something versus Speedball Mike Bailey. I absolutely love this one. You got some couple really big hard hitting guys, and Speedball's trying to, make heads or tails out of this and stay in this while he's getting clobbered. What'd you think of this, Bill?
Oh, I know. I liked it. I think they all worked well together. Obviously, you got two guys that have been tagging, so they're going to know each other pretty well in there. And they didn't shy away from going at each other in this match. And then you got Jake, who we saw pretty much since last year become a force in the X division. Like they definitely have been leaning heavy into that. And as we see a little later in the episode with another person that's entering into the X division, that hold no limits. Because if you are just using cruiserweights, are you no limits? You got to have some outliers to really go with that moniker. So I applaud that because I am a big fan of the no limits version of the X division. I know other people may want it just to be a cruiserweight, light heavyweight type division, but I like the no limit aspect. Like you get that wildness of getting somebody that you wouldn't imagine in there, adapting to a certain style. I think that's definitely fun. Like you don't want to see stuff go crazy, but that's what the X division is about.
Oh, just look at the classic stuff with AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe. It's insane.
Samoa Joe
loved it.
Wouldn't seem like an X division guy, but he helped make the X division.
He did.
Kurt Angle, great in the X division.
Yeah, people need to be reminded of that. And this is a great way to do it. You'd be like, oh, and we got more of that later too. But yeah, so Bailey, he qualifies, and in the same rate, he also he's his title's intact, so he will be
fighting
not only
champion.
He's fighting champion. He will go into the Ultimate X as X Division champion, so that's good to see. So. And that's not to see we won't see Trent 7 or Jake something back in another match in another day or two. We'll see. We'll find out. Tasha Steelz and Giselle Shaw. We get first of all, we got footage of them from Explosion. And apparently this is like match number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a reminder why I need to watch more Explosion, and why
gotta watch Explosion.
Because sometimes they do.
There's storylines on Explosion. Like there used to be a time where there wasn't, but there has been like for a while now. Explosion, I like, and obviously you can watch Explosion, you can YouTube Explosion, you can watch it on the app. I'd love to see Explosion get on Anthem get on Access as well with Anthem. It feels like at least if you're not going to give another show, give me Explosion on Saturday mornings. Saturday morning wrestling. Do it. Please.
Love it.
For the kids.
And the big
We need a little Tom Hannafin and Gia Miller in the morning. Come on.
Oh, there you go. Boy, there's just what couldn't be a better way to start your day than big sugary bowl of cereal and Gia Miller on my TV. Nothing better.
That's a winning combination, J-Bo.
And I know I'm probably getting eyeballs from the other side of the room. So just big bowl of what with who? What?
Cereal and wrestling go together.
Yes, absolutely. Give me some
Screw
TNA
your ice
loop.
cream bars. Give me cereal and wrestling.
Give me some TNA loops. I don't know. Or TNA flakes.
The alphabets.
Oh God, that too. Good stuff. That's a classic. So then Santino comes in. Well, okay, so they show the footage of how Tasha Steelz beats Giselle Shaw. This is match 2, but there's some shenanigans, as they like.
Oh, he went full shenanigans, J-Bone.
He went full shenanigans. And Tasha Steelz is getting all feisty. She's like, "There's no shenanigans." Yeah. She gave her a occur right in the face. It was wow. And Giselle Shaw is just getting upset by the second, and Santino's like, "Oh, hold on. You stop with that. You settle down now. You simmer down now." So he says,
what would he say? Week, he said, "You knockouts, you're feisty." Did he say feisty? Was it something like feisty?
It's a spicy knockout. I don't know. Match number 3. We're getting match number 3 next week. So that'll really tell where this is going.
Well, extra referees to stop the shenanigans.
We don't want those shenanigans. Yes. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for referees around the ring. Are we going to throw some ref shirts on some knockouts? What are we going to do? I would love to see like it turn into kind of like a, what do they call it? A lumberjill match, that kind of thing.
Lumberjill.
Yeah. Something like that, to throw a bunch of ref shirts on the ladies and just have them go nuts. So, but it's going to be very telling because both of these, they came back in about the same time. They're both trying to gain momentum. We love them both. We both want to see them both do great things in this company, but obviously only one's going to win. So I don't know. We'll have to see where this goes.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. So then we got more Santino. Man, Santino's just the star of the show tonight. I'm telling you.
Big night for Santino.
Yes. And he's talking about the Ultimate X, and he gets interrupted by a Hammerstone.
Hammerstone.
Good old Hammerstone. And he's like, he talks about breaking down the barriers, and he's like, he wants in on this X Division stuff.
I don't know if he gave it the utmost respect, J-Bone. When he's talking about the X Division, he's like, they're cute. Like he was almost mocking the X Division.
Yes.
Doing their little flippy stuff.
Yeah. So I picture him being almost similar to how Brian Cage was in the X Division,
Brian Cage, he was doing some of the flippy stuff.
He was.
I think Hammerstone's saying, I'm going to come in there and beat the snot out of the guys doing the flippy stuff.
He is. He
Which
Cage
could have done, but he did it the other way.
But now we got
there's another
in here.
He gave it the Lashley Abyss treatment, but Lashley, there's another one.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And then, but then EY came in, and he's like, "No, you gotta put some respect on that division." And Eric Young, whether he was a heavyweight, X Division tag guy, he always showed respect. Whether you loved him or hate him, he showed respect to the division he was representing at the time. So,
And plus, he said, "Hey, we still got stuff to deal with here." Like,
unfinished
even
business.
though Santino put him in a qualifier match, it's like, hey, hold your roll, pal.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to see a one-on-one or if they're going to throw someone else in here to do a triple threat. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm very excited to see Hammerstone in this. And of course, EY as well. Now we get the Kushida Gresham match, which was just, I mean, is about as pure wrestling as you could get.
Yes, very scientific.
Yeah, which the crowd, I don't think the crowd was expecting this.
No, you need the right crowd for a match like that. It's tough. It's I get it. I like a match like this. There's diehards like a match like this, but it's tough. Like, you can eventually win them over time, but that beginning of a match, a scientific match like that, like a Zack Sabre style match, a Gresham match, Kushida can do a lot of different styles, but if he works more that direction, it will take a couple minutes for people to really get it. It's like one of those things where, like, it's tough to get their full attention when you're going full that way, like working. And we love it though. Like, we love the limb work, J-Bone. We've always been limb work guys on this program.
I love limb work. Yeah.
So, but it's a story. It is a story of telling, like, and we'll get on companies that aren't telling stories. You can tell a story in the ring in a match. And these are the type of matches that can do that very well. Like, you're working a limb, you're working some type of injury angle. But Critical Sting here is talking about Shelley versus Gresham. Granted, that was in Chicago. I remember Eddie had some matches like that. Like, there's a whole bunch of overtime. And now in some of them though, the crowd doesn't warm up to. And a lot of it is just how the match gets booked, where if it's too short of a match, it's going to be tough to get that over. You need to give it some time. You need to let a match like that breathe, but it's going to be like a struggle at the beginning usually, unless people know that's what they're getting going into it. And a lot of these people are more casual fans that they're used to, I'm going to see big guys beating people up or guys flipping around. So when they get this, they don't know what to do with it. When they get actual wrestling.
It's because.
But I thought they did a good job here. Like, obviously, these two are two of the better in-ring guys in the company.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that Kushida won by having him tap out, and then there was zero, at least if I blinked and missed, I didn't notice any shenanigans or any sign of nothing. It was just a clean win.
I just wonder, the next time do we see Gresham, does he turn back? Is he like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, where he's going to keep turning back to the other self when he loses?
Right. Or has he this is me personally, and I don't do this a lot, but the first thing that came in my head was, I'm like, okay, so he's clean as a whistle right now. He's cleared. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention about this that I couldn't wrap my head around at all, the ref.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. As soon as it was referee Page, came into the ring and didn't have gloves or a mask, I'm like, no mask. What are you doing? Where's the safety? Ref Daniel told us all about safety.
Right. What's going is there gonna be something from the announcers during the match saying, by the way, he was medically
Dr.
cleared
Ross
in the back.
cleared him?
Right. Yeah, anything. I don't care if it's Dr. Ross or Dr. Dookie. I don't care. Whatever. Somebody saying he was
You got the
cleared.
reference in there, Jay Bud.
I got it.
We can't go that long without a Dookie on this program.
No, at least this. I forgot we had. Oh God. Anyways. Oh man. But yeah, I'm like, what's up with the rap? That blew my mind. But anyways.
The good Dr. Ariel. Never
Dr.
forget.
Ariel, yes, love Dr. Ariel. We'll see. I unless we get other people that show up now that are sick that do something to someone, and then Jonathan Gresham's like the puppet master with the sick people. Maybe they stopped it because they didn't want it to look like the Wyatt Six sick people. I don't know.
Really?
I thought of that too. Angle. Yeah, and I don't think that they're copying the Wyatt Six, but I could see other people be like, well, yeah, they're sick too. Blah 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 blah. This has more. The other guys are just kind of creepy. This had more of almost a supernatural feel to it because of the black ink. Ooze, the ink, that whatever. Yeah. So.
I was just waiting for Jesse Neal. Shannon Moore.
Ink. Yeah.
Ink.
Great tag team. I love that tag team. I don't care what you say. That was gold back then. There couldn't have been enough ink. ABC promo coming up next. And they're kind of putting themselves over, They're talking about, when Impact turned to TNA, who was the last champions? We were. When TNA became TNA, who were the first champions? We were. So we're 3-time champions. They're patting themselves on the back. And then here comes Bailey, and he's like, look, hey, I'm not here to start a beef. I'm here to congratulate both of you. I wouldn't be the champion I am if I hadn't beat you guys. Mm-hmm. Or if you were part of those matches, so thank you. And he's like, but now we got this ultimate X qualifier. He's like, I would like you two to be in an Ultimate X qualifier to qualify for the match, and they're like, well, we'll think about it. And I was kind of like, really? You're going to think about it? That kind of surprised me. I was like, you're two of the best guys in the company as far as X Division wrestlers, and you're going to think about it? Wow. All right. What'd you think about that?
You look at X Division, right? And obviously we know ABC and that they're like very, obviously they're the champs. But they have very established X Division careers, former champions. So I could see them wanting to have their part in this. So
yeah,
I can't disagree with them, especially when you're looking at qualifiers. You look at who at the roster should be getting opportunities. It's tough. If you're a former champion, you should pretty much get your say of having a shot at this.
Right. So we'll see what they say. They're like, we got to sleep on this one. Okay, whatever. Then we get no, I might have missed one, but we get a couple promos throughout the night here with Steph DeLander. She's looking at her phone. She's waiting on her man. She's like, ooh, should I wear this or should I wear this? And then this one, she's in the jacuzzi. She's waiting for PCO.
You gotta be careful. Hey, remember we had jacuzzi incidents with Twitch, so you better be careful with TNA has a history of jacuzzi incidents.
Yeah, well, at least Steph had some clothes on. There was no there was no whipped cream,
Now whipped cream
going on
only.
here. Yeah.
Hey, nothing's wrong with a little whipped cream, J-Bone.
If you know, you know. But yeah, so she's just waiting on him. She's a little worried, Phone went straight to voicemail. She's kind of wondering what's going on. So it's like, oh,
Voicemail from PCF.
yeah.
Ah!
Oh.
Here! Ah!
My vows. Here's my vows. Oh God, so wrong. But yeah, his voicemail's goofy too. She's like, okay, well, we'll see. All right, open challenge time. Knockouts. We're about halfway through the show here. Knockouts title on the line. Now,
And how wrong were we, J-Bone?
I heard about a couple of the names as far as like the NXT names that showed up, but that's all I heard was Dante, Chen, and Wolfgang. I did not hear
tonight.
I did not hear anything about the possibility of someone from the outside coming in to, take this challenge from NXT or wherever. I had no idea. So I going into this as clueless as anyone else, unless like you were there.
Yeah.
But,
so obviously as this happened, well, before we do that, we got to thank him. We were just talking about him. There he is. Daniel Spencer in the chat.
Daniel Spencer.
Hey.
Hey.
We would like to hear a little bit of your opinion. Because we were talking about the match between Kushida and Jonathan Gresham. And I thought the same thing when referee Paige entered the ring and did not have any of her safety equipment. But did Dr. Ross or behind give him a clean bill of health where it was no longer needed? And did he check the noggin? Oh, there he's. Oh, and I do got to say, I did see David Penzer. Spencer is this dude. He's quick, man. He's quick as soon as he's in there.
Oh,
I was able to see Spencer. Well, because you're the head. You told us all about the safety protocols.
Yes.
But what's now? Like, if there was a clean bill of health, we were worried with Gresham in there and no safety protocols being followed anymore.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it was a clean bill of health that was, handed down from, Dr. Ross or whatever,
Although yet in that interview backstage with Gia, I don't know if the noggin was doing too good because it seems like he didn't know what he's been up to the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Mr.
100% Mr. Head Ref. David Penzer's like, yeah, Mr. Head Ref, what's going on? Well, while we're waiting on Daniel Spencer's possible answer. Okay, here we go.
Okay, there we go. Jonathan Gresham was checked and no ink was found, and he seems to be his old self. Okay, so safety protocols now relaxed.
Okay, all right. Well,
we got a confirmation from 100% Mr. Head Ref.
We appreciate that, Daniel Spencer. We really do, because that was one of our, we'll say, hot topics of the evening. Penzer's a cheapskate.
The back and forth. See, you get it. You even get it in the chat.
Oh my God, we're gonna.
It's like you're there in person.
We're gonna have to get Santino to settle these guys down.
That's disgusting.
Simmer down now.
Simmer down now. Oh my God. Oh, it's too funny. All right. Well, thank you. 100% Ref Spencer. We love it.
But we're at the TNA. We got the Knockouts title on the line, J-Bone.
Yes. Jordynne Grace versus the open challenge answered by Rosemary. And
Rosemary.
I'm not used to this new entrance. This is all still a new look, theme, everything. So I was just shocked when it was Rosemary and she comes out with the butcher cleaver. I'm like, oh my God. And then they these guys in the chat, they're just going at it. They said that this is the first time that Rosemary has ever faced Jordynne Grace. And I was mildly shocked. I was like,
well, yeah, honestly,
really?
I know I've been saying it for the last maybe couple months on the show that I thought Rosemary was the only on roster member that could be the one to dethrone Jordynne. And when she came out for the open challenge, I'm like, say what now? Like, this is happening now? Now, obviously, based on the finish, I get it. It makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because now you're kind of saving it. Because you put it out there, you had a no finish at the end. So Rosemary now has that in her back pocket for a couple months from now, if needed. If that is the Bound for Glory match.
Right. Unless we get a triple threat at Emergence, which is my guess.
That'd be quick.
Because Rosemary's going to want revenge on that. But knowing Jordynne Grace, she's also going to want a match again with Rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
So, all three ladies coming up to Santino, and he's like, hold on a minute.
Well, we'll see. But obviously, what we had happen in this match was Santino tried to talk about stopping him earlier. They didn't get stopped in this match because we had shenanigans, J-Bone. Oh, we did. And I had a feeling we were going to get it because this match was just going way too good. I loved it. Rosemary looked great. This is the first time we've seen Rosemary in a while, she looks healthy. She was countering a lot of stuff from Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace looked like she was, I don't want to say whooped, but I don't think she was ready for this. This is one but you get these open challenges, you do not have time to prep. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
You go out there and you got to do what you got to do,
No, they were having a great match, but then it got elegant in there real quick. Elegant with a kendo stick.
Yeah, with a pretty sparkly kendo stick by Elegance and the concierge himself, Interference. So Ash goes in there and just starts clobbering both to the point where she don't care if the ref turns around and sees them or not. So she starts posing. She's like, yes, it was me. Me, all about me.
Shout out to Dr. Finkelstein.
God. Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a triple threat in the future. We'll see. We'll find out.
But now, what we also found out, there were some autographs going on between David Penzer giving some autographs to Daniel Spencer. Big stuff going on now at Tampa, Florida.
David Penzer said that Spencer cried.
No, he's saying it was sweat. It's hot down there. It's Florida. It's humid.
No tears. Okay, yeah. Daniel Spencer works hard. You guys behave. Oh man. One thing I want to ask Daniel Spencer is he excited about the news for Bound for Glory in Detroit in late October? We'll see what his response is to that. But we continue. Here's the where they did the announcement for Bound for Glory, but we covered all that. David Benzer's like, no, it was tears. Josh Alexander cutting a promo here. Now, I will say this. I feel like I don't want to use the words he's getting better at this, but he's getting better at this. It was better received than last time, because last time he was out there, he was mumbling a little bit, and he really didn't say much. He dropped the mic and he left.
Well, and it was going to be tougher to pull off in Canada, even though he was really going after the Toronto versus Montreal rivalry. But this, now that you're back in the States, you can do more of the heel. But once again, he's doing it a different way. He's like, I'm the same. You've all changed.
Yes.
And he's not wrong.
He's got to blame us. Right.
He's not wrong, though. He's like, he has a point. He's not doing stuff that much differently. It's just you disagreed with who he did it to. Because the prodigal son, it was against Daniel Spencer referenced them earlier. It's like, you say his name. We said Daniel Spencer, he appeared, but he went against everybody's favorite prestigious one. And that seems to, he almost became a heel overnight just because he stopped the other guy from winning the world title.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Norris says, where's the lie? Daniel Spencer says, yes, I'm super excited about it, referencing Bound for Glory. Says, been waiting to work in Detroit and glad not only we get a show there, but Bound for Glory, let's pack the house. Yeah.
There you
Very
go.
exciting. There you go.
And Daniel Spencer, since you are here, it wasn't totally clear. They announced Bound for Glory. They didn't announce tapings for the day after, but then like the tweet that went out referenced both shows. So I don't know if you know for sure if there's tapings there, because you're talking about that building. It's a big building, obviously, but for TV, the possible next day.
Right.
Not sure if that's confirmed or not.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So. David Penzer wants to know about the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, if he's going to be working there. Well, once again, hey, just like any other promotion, if TNA is not running, you see TNA talent in MLW, Indies, kind of everywhere when they're not working TNA shows. Yeah. So that's not a craziness. But I'm not sure how much Daniel Spencer, obviously OVW is one of his larger commitments. And that's another thing, Daniel Spencer, if you want to answer that. But I know OVW is doing like a pretty big tour, like outside of the local area. Okay, Daniel Spencer is confirming there will be. So, yeah, they just didn't announce on that announcement. But you could tell, and I think that was Eli earlier mentioning that in the tweet. They referenced shows, but then didn't mention shows. So that makes sense.
Okay. There you go. So, all right. And those who have TNA Plus get a day in advance on ticket sales.
Yes. So, but Daniel Spencer, I believe there might be an OVW show in Western PA, maybe even like next weekend. Let me know if you're there to officiate.
There you go.
It's a stretch. Right. It's a pretty long drive, but I might consider doing it.
Ooh. All right. So we got the promo from Josh Alexander, excuse me, and we were talking about that. But then, so he was talking about Joe Hendry, and he got plenty of boos for that because he's everybody's darling right now. But then he also made reference to the champ, Nick Nemeth. And Nick Nemeth comes out without hesitation and just absolutely drops Josh Alexander. I was like, I'm expecting like nose to nose, little yelling.
Not your typical Nick Nemeth that we've seen so far.
No, I was like, almost, dare I say, almost heelish. But this is just how serious Nick Nemeth is. He's like, you're gonna come at me like this? He's like, you want the match? You got the match. And we're getting it next week, Bill.
Oh.
Championship match.
Official.
Unbelievable.
And Daniel Spencer, thank you for the update. The PA show was postponed until the fall. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I saw it like about a week ago, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do that. But
so.
Ooh, now Matthew Smith here saying it seemed like a cheap shot. Jay-Bo, what do you think? Because they were kind of talking mano a mano. Do you think he?
Well, Mayor's got a good point here too. So Josh called Nick a transitional champion, and it was reference to what everybody used to call him back when he was in the WWE.
Well, that's what he reacted to. It was the transitional champ. Like that's about the most insulting thing you can say to a guy with a belt.
Right.
Like that was the thing during Shelley's.
You're not
referencing
special.
that.
Right.
Yeah, you're just there to buy time.
You're just holding it for now. And that's that sucks.
We don't have a better option.
Right. You're no moose.
Damn
but
straight.
Yeah. But I'm hey now. No. But yeah, I was like, holy cow, he dropped him, and Nick Nemeth gets down on one knee and he's yelling at him, and he's like, you want the match, you got the match. So
there you go.
Santino in the back, another Santino special.
Heavy Santino. He's like Goldilocks tonight.
Yes. Maybe not as sweet on the eyes, but yeah, he's there.
All right, J-Bone Downey Jr.
Oh God,
that's a TNI deep cut.
Oh, that is a deep cut. If you know, folks, you know. Whew. I was as red as this nameplate right there. Whew. The Bone Man was shook. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Santino out there, and Kaz, the king of TNA, Kaz.
King.
He's like, man, this guy gets a. This
you know
guy
he's the king of Dookie.
Dookie. I wonder if the king of TNA, who is also quite the music aficionado, is a fan of Green Day Dookie.
He might be.
He might be. I don't know. I see him more of a fan of I don't know. God damn it, I don't know. Scorpions. I don't know.
Oh, okay. No, because he's been doing the VH1, like the access version of like kind of the old VH1 shows, the music specials he's been on.
Yeah.
So the classic rock.
But he wants a shot, and Santino says, "Well, someday, you you'll get another shot." And Kaz is still he's in like the best shape of his career, I think. in my opinion. So, if they keep him on top somehow, some way for a while, I don't care. I'm good with it. I love Kaz. You give him his flowers while he's, still young and they're able to.
Serotonin
all the way, man. Serotonin with interference from Raven. Book it. Next, we get a reference to the NXT footage of what happened on Tuesday, which Bill and I covered as far as the match between Joe Hendry and Joe Coffey, and then the tag match, which had a lot of people talking. The revival of MSK versus Nathan Fraser and Axiom for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Now, when MSK, 2/3 of the Rascals, did not come off with the win, Wesley attacked both Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, and that was tough to watch. That was really
trouble
tough to watch.
In Rascal Land.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, he sent them packing back into TNA, if you will. So they showed that footage, but we get the next Ultimate X qualifier here. I love this match. I want to see more of this. We got Zachary Wentz versus Casey Navarro. The second time we're seeing Casey here. And versus Dante Chen from NXT. Mm-hmm. First of all, how good was it to see Casey Navarro again? Second of all, what did you think of Dante Chen's debut here?
Well, first on Casey, obviously we've seen him a handful of times over the last few years, but obviously more recently. But I've seen Casey at a lot of indie shows in my area, like PA, New Jersey, for years. And at the last time I saw him at an indie show in Philly at the arena, when he came by me, he made like a reference specifically to me, just walking by me. That's like pretty much like, I'll be seeing you again soon. So I kind of got a feeling by that. So obviously he showed up at tapings. So he's been at TNA. I think that was a TNA reference that he would see me at TNA. But I think that might mean we might see him more long term. I can't confirm it, but I think he might be signed.
Wait, when did he say that?
He said this at I got to look at the last Battleground show. I think like within like the last month or so. So I think sometime before then, but like he was definitely at that point, obviously booked for this set of tapings. But I think they might be bringing him in more long term. And then I see what you're chuckling about there, J-Bone. So I see
Penny's really.
He's going after me now. But as Daniel Spencer said, it was pretty hot there. Like there was a lot of sweat going on. So, but who knows? I'm an emotional basket case. Talking about Dookie, basket case. So I tend to if I shed a tear or two, I'm a man. I can admit it, J-Bone. I get emotional. So yeah, it may be the case.
Oh man. Yeah.
I haven't seen Penzer in a long time.
Sweet guy, that Penzer. Sweet guy.
That's right.
I don't care what other people say about it. we at TNI love him. Oh man. But yeah, great to see Casey Navarro back here. Pretty sure I said it.
So Casey, like I said, keep an eye out. I have a feeling we might be seeing Casey long term, which I'm a fan of. But then speaking of Dante Chen, I believe I did see him like one of the times I went to NXT in like the last couple of years. I think I saw him early on, and you could definitely see some ability there for sure. He definitely looked even better in the ring now. So obviously that's the whole goal of NXT is the improvement over time of who's working there. So I could see that, but I thought he was a great fit. Like I thought the people there, like he got a great reaction from the crowd. Obviously being Tampa.
This is Florida, right?
Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense.
Whether he's touring Florida or like at the house shows or the taped shows, I should say, for NXT, yeah, that audience should know him absolutely. Yeah.
So, but no, I thought he worked well in that style of match with the other individuals. So I'm a fan. I thought it was, I like you. I was a big fan of this match. Like obviously Wentz gets the win here, but like I'd like to see both of them have other visits. As Critical Sting here says, like I'm surprised Casey didn't get more shots after that Super X Cup. Same thing. Like obviously he worked like he was an MLW roster member for a while. But I like he's got a lot of ability, like a lot of like X Division fit to a T, kind of pretty much. So that I think he'd definitely be an asset going forward. So fingers crossed for him. Great and now Daniel Spencer, well, watch out here. And this is the guy that does this in matches a lot. You're out of here. He's saying, Spencer, did you get kicked out of the venue? And that's from the expert of being, he kicks people out of venues.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Spencer, yes, Laser walked me out in handcuffs.
Laser?
Laser.
Oh, boy. All right. But yeah, great. Can't wait to see more of these guys. Dante Chen looked great from a guy from NXT for the first time. Casey Navarro, gotta see more of this guy. Absolutely. So yeah. Next we got Steph DeLander. She gets a knock on the door. She's like, "Yay, my man's here." She's all excited, and no, it's that Samanagan, Matt Cardona.
Boo,
boo, yes. And he's screaming at her, "Let me in! No, you were mine!" And it's like, oh God, we're playing, the possession game here. That's not good. And Steph is like, "No, this is my honeymoon. How could you?" Blah 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 blah.
I like the door slam to the face.
Yeah, slam that door.
As he's saying, "We got bookings. We got money to make."
Yeah, we got. She's like, "No, I can't. I have a ring on my finger. I'm taken now." And then the next footage we have is PCO with his face in the dirt from. Now, I don't know who was holding him down. I don't know if they showed that. But Matt Cardona is the guy who comes up to him and he's playing more of this possession game, like, "She's mine. You'll never have her." Blah blah blah. So this is definitely leading up to a PCO versus Matt Cardona. And no, we do not want Steph DeLander on a pole.
Get it out of your head, J-Bone. I know where you're going, Russo. Bro.
Bro. No, she wouldn't turn her back on PCO, would she?
Never.
She can't. She just can't. So yeah. So it makes me wonder for a second, like, who are these goons with Matt Cardona? Is this someone new, or was it just extras that were just holding him down for the scene?
Have to wait and find out.
I tend to overthink a couple of these things. I don't want to, I don't want to be like, well, you know, where were these guys? They didn't show up again. We didn't see who they were. You know, maybe that's for a reason. I don't know. But so next we get the NXT Joe Hendry footage, how he took out Joe Coffey. The NXT audience loves him. He told them he's going to stick around for a while. And then we get the main event time here. Joe Hendry versus Gallus. Wolfgang from Gallus.
Wolfie.
Wolfie. No, the only person you're allowed to call Wolfie is if you're referencing Eddie Van Halen's son, Wolfie.
That's the only Wolfie.
That's the only Wolfie. I wouldn't dare call Wolfgang Wolfgang.
Like you would never call Joe by anything other than Joe Hendry. You will say his name correctly.
Right. And that's just out of respect, you know.
As Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry, yes. If you call Wolfgang Wolfie, something cute like that, he's liable to get off with your head, you know. I'll teach you, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey. We're a TNA show. You can't forget about Wolfie D. Don't disrespect the Wolfies.
Wolfie. Okay, well, that's different. He was always known as Wolfie. There's Wolfies you can get away with, and there's Wolfies you can't. I'm saying this is probably a Wolfie you can't.
Okay.
But
does Joe, because he believes.
I believe I'll beat Wolfie.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
But what'd you think? What'd you think of Wolfgang versus Joe Hendry?
Well, I thought Joe. I think Joe. He's making his way, man. He's been feuding with him. He's kind of taking him out one by one. Like he had his hands full with Wolfgang here. Now I just want to call him Wolfie though, but I'll go by Wolfgang. But after what Joe did to him, though, he might be Wolfie to everybody after this one, Jay. But what'd you think?
Yeah, he'll go back to NXT and he'll lick his wounds. His wounds. He'll still be Wolfgang.
He'll still be Wolfgang. All right.
Yeah. Maybe to the guys in Gallus, he might get ribbed a little bit. Oh, you got beat by Joe, Wolfie. You know, he'll be like,
so did Coffee. So did Joe Coffee.
Yeah.
They used to it, Gallus.
They'll yeah. They better. Especially when Joe Hendry's around. But yeah, this was fun. I did like this. Joe Hendry just showing up again why he's 252 pounds of positivity.
Pure motivation, J-Bone.
Pure motivation. That's right. Wolfgang obviously did not believe. Hopefully, by the end of this match, he did.
He's a believer.
He's gonna go back to NXT. Hey, that's all. I believe.
He knocks sense into you, and then you become a believer.
Yeah, you even speak proper. What is he? Scottish? I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe with a hint of Irish. I don't know. But then, so Joe gets a significant win here. Great to see. Yep. Main event.
Main event, Joe.
Crowd is all behind him. You know, they're not bored by this point. They're still in it. But then we get word from the announcers that there is something going on in the back. And
Josh Matthews in the truck.
Yeah, quick, get a camera back there. If you blinked, though, you missed it. This segment was so quick, you almost didn't get to see who was all there. Because, well, you could tell by the outfits that one side of this was the system. You couldn't miss that. But then the other side, it was a bunch of security guys, and they were holding back. I might have missed a face or two, but all I saw was Mike Santana.
Just Mike Santana.
Was it just Mike Santana?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, who's with Mike Santana? It can't be just
It was Mike Santana
versus
the system. He was going against the world. He's just like, everybody's going to have to stop Mike Santana from getting to the system.
He's like, screw the system. Wow. So now, did he have that match with Moose yet? I
don't think yet, but I think that's on the horizon.
It is. Okay. Because I
think they'll make that happen.
I think he called him out a week or two ago. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that's got to happen. So I was just trying to remember with everything else that's going on. Did it happen? Did it not happen? Okay. Thank you. That's what happens when you watch too much wrestling. Everything just kind of gets a little blurry. And that's why I have this gentleman by my side here to.
And J-Bone, for anything you forget in past wrestling, like the old WCW days, you can go get David Pender's book, Sitting Ringside, Volume 1. So
there you go.
Check out the book from that gentleman right there pictured.
Absolutely.
So don't forget, because you ask and you shall receive for both the book.
So
what a show, J-Bone.
Yeah, loaded. I mean, a lot of X Division stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff coming in these next couple weeks. Stay tuned.
We got the qualifiers. Lots of stuff with Nick Nemeth. He is the defending championship. He's defending against Josh Alexander next week, and it's not even a special. It's just TNA TV.
Mm-hmm.
The knockouts. We got all sorts of stuff loaded. So, yeah, great show. A great show. We are on the road to Emergence. We also got all the great details about Bound for Glory. So, and when we hear more details as far as ticket stuff and possibly that, I shouldn't say possibly, but the next day that will be added to that as far as tapings, we'll keep you in tune as far as all that as well. So,
very good.
Anything else you want to throw in there, Bill?
No, that wraps it up, J-Bone. Stay tuned, because we'll probably see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, because if Joe Hendry's sticking around, he's probably going to be facing someone, and who knows what we're going to see on NXT regarding TNA stuff. But yeah, we'll bring you news. We'll bring you updates from that neck of the woods. Those are a blast to do. So on your way out of here, folks, thanks again. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our content hits your screen. And make sure you also check out Team TNI UK on Wednesday afternoons. Good night, folks. Have a good weekend.